I've always taken a lot of risks. I've always been a risk taker. It's who I am as a person. No death, no risk, no glory. I've always been that guy. And I feel like a lot of it is also for you to decide in yourself and decide with your own conscience, will I be comfortable if I go to 6 out of 10, or do I really need to be 10 out of 10? And that's fine. Everyone's different, right? But yeah, I think you should set the goal that you're truthfully prepared to live that lifestyle of.
Everyone can be a better version of themselves.
Well, everyone can be a better version of themselves completely, and it's down to the three things I said earlier: stupid, lazy, arrogant. I think most people are just too arrogant to learn. And I'll give you an example of it. I'll give you an example of why people are too arrogant to learn. Let's forget about selling products. On my website, CobraTate.com, I have an email list. It's completely and utterly free. I am a billionaire. I'm sitting here telling people how to make money. Anyone who's listening to this is watching, and they obviously find me entertaining. They find you entertaining. They understand we're knowledgeable. I will tell you how to make money, and I will give you knowledge and advice via email for free each day. There are people who will sit and watch this knowing that and still not sign up. Explain that to me. They're like, how could you sit and go, this guy's smart, he's entertaining, he knows things, he has a free email list. I am too lazy to type in or arrogant to sign up for free. It takes 6 seconds and they still won't do it. Of the 1 million people who watch this, half of them will sign up and half of them won't. And the half that don't will still be like, I'll get rich one day. No, you fucking won't. You're a dumbass.
So if a man isn't rich, can they be deemed as successful?
Completely. You have to decide. Yeah, it depends. There are people who are dedicated to surfing and they live in a tent in Bali and they surf every day.
And love every minute of it.
And they smile. That's fantastic. You have to decide what you want in life. I want to conquer the world. And if you're going to conquer the world in the modern society we live in, that's going to be a fiscal conquer. That's what you're going to do. You're going to make a bunch of money. How else are you going to conquer the world? That's what I wanted. You have to decide what you want. And there's different folks for different strokes, and it takes a lot of different kind of people to make the world go round. But if you truly want to conquer the world, you're going to end up wanting a bunch of money because that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So you have to decide the life you want to live, right?
So if you had a teenage son, what would be the one piece of advice you'd give him to break through the matrix and achieve success in life, whatever that is for him?
I'm actually genuinely worried about my children because I grew up so broke. And they're going to be so fucking rich.
It is a worry, isn't it?
It's a worry because you're a different man when you have no safety net. You're a different man when you have to pull it off. No, I need to. No, I literally have to pull this off. I have to roll the dice. Most men don't understand what it feels like to roll a dice and you have to get a 6. They go, what do you mean you have to? No, I have to get a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if you don't? No, I have to get a 6. You're not understanding me. So that's extremely character building. And for that reason, I'm going to make sure that my children, another thing that comes with it, I took a bunch of risks that I would never be comfortable with my children taking, because this is the problem. You go soft, right?
Yes.
I was riding around on a motorcycle with no insurance, running from the cops. And I could have been splattered on the road. And I would never want my son to do that. But at the same time, I want him to be like me. So it's difficult. It's hard.
He can't go through the same lessons that you went through.
Correct.
And I think that's why you didn't give me everything.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, Curtis has basically earned his way in life. You know, he's done very, very well. But I wouldn't just give him everything. Absolutely not. You know, even down to a loan when he started his business, he needed a laptop. I said, well, you got to go and earn that money to buy that laptop. Well, he went to his nan, managed to get a loan off his nan,
and I paid that back.
But that's different. He's got it as a loan. He hasn't been given a handout, you know?
And you need that. And you need that for a variety of reasons. One, because you won't be satisfied with yourself. If you're given a bunch of money, you're never going to be happy with money.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And two, there's so many lessons that come along the way with business that you can't just skip, right? So I know exactly what you mean. But as for my teenage son, I'm gonna try very hard to. He's gonna have problems he needs to solve. And I think if you're a young man, even if you're not my child, if you're just any man who's out there in the world today, you need to look at some problems that need solving, either for yourself or for society, and find a way to fix them. And I think that you should just adopt some problems and try and fix them. It doesn't matter what it is. You can just try and fix the litter in your area, or you can try and get a 6-pack, or whatever you want. Men are builders. The modern world, call me misogynistic, the modern world was built by men. Every building you're in was built by men. Every road you drive on was built by men. We're builders, we build things, and that's what you should be focused on. And like I said before, if you're hardworking and you build, and I think you'll do well in life. That's what it's really about. You can't hide away from the brutal realities of work. That's it. And while we're on the subject, that's actually where these last 2 years have been pure clown world, because I've known some people who have made a bunch of money in crypto, and I've said to them, what you've just gone through, what you've just done is once in a generation, and it's completely ruined you. Because normally if you make, let's say 200 grand, you have learned lessons to make that 200 grand. You've learned marketing, you've learned sales, you've learned how to manage staff, you learn how to deal with pressure, you learn how to be on time, you've learned a bunch of things.
So you can continue it.
So you can continue. And even if you lose all the money, you retain the lessons.
100%.
What have you learned? You bought a coin, it went up. Okay, good. You have not learned a single fucking thing about how money is made, about personal development. You didn't even learn how to have a firm handshake and put on a tie. You learned nothing. You pulled it off. You made a few dollars. You've lost them now. And now the worst thing about it is you think you're too good for work. You think you're so smart now. Yeah. Oh, I made it. This is the next one. You got lucky. Now you think you're too good to actually get up and grind. You think you're just going to pull it off again, another lottery win. And you don't think you have to work very hard. And guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to end up fucking broke because that's not the reality of the world. That clown world shit is over. All that shit is over. We're about to get into harder times than ever. If you're sitting at home and you made a bit of money with crypto and you think, don't worry, it's going to go up again soon. You're just praying for some external force. That's not self-accountability. Sitting and watching the Bitcoin price, waiting for it to go up so you have money is not self-accountability. That's prayer. You might as well just do the lottery numbers. All these people who made money in this clown world, a lot of them haven't learned any lessons about the reality of Earth, and it's about to get a lot harder. Inside of my school, The Real World, we have an entire subject on attention and focus because a lot of kids, especially young kids now, can't even pay attention. We have to teach them from the beginning how to watch the lessons because they're too long and they can't focus.
It's crazy. It's like picking up your phone all the time. Like even some of the people that work for us, you know, I want them to be focusing on their job and they're always on their phone. It's not Kai. It's a lot of other people.
I know.
But yeah, they're always on their phone. It's breaking their attention and they don't realize it's not the time just on their phone. It's like taking them out from it and then back into it. It takes you a bit of time to get into it.
Completely. People can't even focus anymore.
Yeah.
And so inside the school, in The Real World, we have to teach people how to focus again. So like these last few years have been complete clown world. And I think we're about to hit very, very difficult times. But in hard times, the people who are good at the game get very rich.
Well, we interviewed Tom Hartley very recently, the supercar dealer, and he made his money from 11 years old to 17, lost $1 million at that point, went back to broke. But the words he said were, I learned all those lessons, I can get there again.
Completely.
And that is a really important lesson.
And he didn't lose it from being silly. He lost it due to a technicality as well, which was a thing.
No, but this is the thing, and I truly believe, like, this is where we go back into me saying all my income is disposable. I can never be poor. My skill set, the people I know, my phone book, my reliability, my reputation, you could take all of my money today. I'll be a millionaire again in 2 weeks. Like I can call people and say, lend me 10 mil. Oh, that's Tate. He'll give it back. I can call people. I know people. I have a place I can go. I'm good at speaking. Like once you have those lessons and once you have that network and once you have those things built, you can't go broke. You really can't. You get to a point of life where the only way you could go broke is if you become a drug addict or something ridiculous. But yeah, so the lessons are very, very important. Yeah. I'll make it clear because these last few years, people skipped all of them. Even if they have a little bit of money, they have none of the lessons and they're going to suffer. The universe will teach them a lesson.
Forget the bad things, remember the lesson. That's what I always say.
Absolutely.
I think your friends and your circle is a good way to make sure you're learning those lessons. They can get onto you and say, look, you're making the same mistake again and again. How do you build your circle?
I'm ruthless. I am ruthless. I'm ruthless.
You wouldn't be any other way, would you?
No, but I don't have time for brokies. I don't have time for sad people. I don't have time for unlucky people. I don't have time for someone who's complaining. I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time. I'm so ruthless. If I knew a dude who always had a cold, I wouldn't talk to him anymore. You're too sick. I don't like it. My circle is winners. Everyone around me is a winner. No matter what bad happens in our lives, we win. And it's amazing to me that people understand that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend most time with.
100%.
But then they don't curate their circle.
No.
They'll go, yeah, I understand that part. And then they'll still hang around with a bunch of fucking losers. The problem is, it has to be a value exchange. You can't be a loser hanging around with winners because winners don't want to hang around with you. You need to find a way to provide value and work your way up. But as you progress through life, there's going to have to be people you cut off because they're just holding on to your coattails, slowing you down. And no matter how many times you give them a chance, they don't want to fucking progress. And that's their decision. That's fine. You don't have to feel guilty about that. You have to
we covered it on a short recently, and we got quite a lot of hate on that, didn't we? The fact that we've had, through my life, I've had to cut people out. And I don't want to cut them out. It's just I'll be dragged back and I can't gradually move up on the levels.
Because they're holding on to the person you used to be, and they expect you to be that person.
They go, you've changed. Headlines, yes, I have. Why haven't you?
Completely. And life is a value exchange. Every friendship, every relationship, every business relationship, there has to be an exchange of value. If as you progress through life, if people stay in the same place, you're only giving value and you're not receiving any value back. And you have to be ruthless about those things. Like, I have a very curated circle, and everybody in my circle is extremely useful, and we're extremely successful. And it's a very motivating thing. If you're in a room full of ice cream experts and all they talk about is ice cream, how to move ice cream, how to sell ice cream, different flavors of ice cream, how you make ice cream, you're going to learn a lot about ice cream. If you're in a room full of people who are billionaires, and guess what they're talking about? Money. And guess what you're going to learn about? Money. I don't sit and have pointless conversations with people. I don't even know what people are talking about. If me and my friends meet, we end up talking about the earth and how it can pay us. Well, that's what we talk about. And that's how we manage to make a bunch of money. So you have to be ruthless with your circle. And for people out there who understand this, a lot of people say they understand it, but they genuinely don't. But if you do, and you are trying to progress your circle, you need to find a way.